That's what it was.
Yeah.
So why did we take a picture? That makes more sense.
Yes, 4th of July is why we took that picture.
I see. Okay. That makes sense.
So we haven't done one of these in a long time.
Was it 365 days?
I think Facebook popped up and told me the last time we did a real podcast was about a year ago.
Wow.
We did, for a little while, we did the 5-minute ones.
Yeah.
Those lasted a little bit longer. But I got to digging around on the website and stuff, and we just hadn't put out a bunch of stuff like this in a long time.
No.
But frankly, we've been kind of busy.
We've been working.
Yeah, so I think a year ago, we took a lot of time to do stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But we had to get back to work a little bit. We had to build the gym a little bit.
This is true. This is true.
And now, I'm excited to get back into some of this stuff. I like making podcasts and things. They're fun.
Oh, me too. Me too. We get to talk about all the things that we typically talk about.
Yeah, we just put them on record.
Yeah.
For people to watch and listen to.
All of the lobby sessions we've had here.
Yeah, I'm going to cut this air off while you
talk about it. Yeah. Just about every early afternoon before class starts when we're gathered up around here having fitness debates or talking about something.
Yeah.
Has typically something to do with fitness. Sometimes not. We had a
Sometimes not.
debate
Yeah.
a week. An entire week.
About which french fry is better.
Yeah.
So, I am excited to kick it back off, and I just want to talk about fitness stuff that's going on. It's actually been the last 3 or 4 weeks have been some of the best for strength sports of the year,
Or maybe not.
at least, for a couple of years, with the cross-section and the collision that was the Olympics and the CrossFit Games at the same time.
Yeah, we saw. Actually, the CrossFit Games this year it just kind of had a little more buzz to it. You're a little more excited to watch it.
Well, it was essentially we hadn't had a CrossFit Games in 2 years.
Yeah.
Last year we had it, but 5-on-5 wasn't quite the same as it was with the full rosters, the full heats.
Yeah, the spectacle.
Yeah,
You didn't get the spectacle.
and they brought back some cool events this year, I thought.
Oh yeah, yeah. The whole pig, which is essentially a 500-pound block sand block. 500 pounds.
It's like a tire flip on steroids, if you will.
Yeah. Ooh,
Speaking of steroids. So yeah, let's just dive into CrossFit first. Since we paid probably more attention to CrossFit as a community for the last couple of weeks with the games and all than the Olympics itself. So let's start there.
Okay.
So CrossFit Games back full, actually bigger this year because they had the adaptive team or the adaptive section, which was awesome to see as well.
They added a new Masters category as well.
What was that?
Plus 65.
Plus 65, showing off that fitness. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I saw like an interview with one of their
90-year-old
mom or something like that was there. That was kind of cool to see too. So bigger than ever, probably.
Yep.
Probably not. That year they had like the ridiculous number of participants. Probably had
2018.
19, wasn't it?
2018 they had almost 500,000.
No, I'm talking about participants in the games itself. The year they had like
2019, yeah.
all of the national champions that wouldn't make it out of Arkansas if they were...
Would make it out of Little Rock, for being honest.
So, it was cool to see that part of it, the expansion. I thought the broadcast was better than it has been in a while, too, for just the fact of we got to see everything.
Yeah, so the way they set it up, you got a chance to watch the individuals at the very beginning, and then they had a day off that was solely focused on the age group division, so the teenagers, the teams, so all those little things that typically don't get a lot of look at or a lot of view.
Yeah, they kind of sandwiched them in after the hype.
Yeah. They got a primetime slot in the Coliseum. People not named Rich Froning on the team side, you get to watch them.
Yeah, that's true too.
So it was cool. It was cool to see. You got to highlight some different parts of that competitive side of CrossFit that's not the individual males and females.
Yeah. Speaking of the individual males and females, first let's just start with I thought that the test was good. I've seen lots of people argue the test. I thought for the first time it was a test of fitness more than it was who's better at CrossFit.
Okay. I can see that.
In the past, we've seen, and we still saw CrossFit workouts. We had the ski,
rope climb,
and then the sandbag carry. We had the wall walk thruster.
Yep.
We had the bike snatches.
You had the AMRAP with pegboards, dumbbells.
That was crazy. We saw an AMRAP at the games.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
You had that. Then you had the very end with chest to bars, lunges.
Yeah.
Is there something else? Something like that.
Yeah.
But
it was the chest, or the pull, was it pull up? Chest to bar pull ups into
back rack, front rack, overhead.
Yeah, which was awesome. We sound like we didn't watch it, but we did. I promise. Then I thought that we had the breakdown of skills too. So we had the sprint, run. We had the max lift. We had the handstand walk.
You had the handstand walk. You had freestanding handstand push-up.
Which that was another CrossFit-ish workout. It was a higher intensity to get that heart rate up and then see if you can do a new skill, which was kind of cool to see, the best of the world try. If you haven't tried one of those in the gym, they're easy to do one, hard to do two. Is that safe to say?
Easy to get yourself off the ground, hard to actually complete the rep.
Yeah, that's a tough movement. But super cool to see at the games. Cool to see, like a new challenge for those athletes.
I want to say from a just everyday CrossFitter's perspective, watching elite athletes just lay on the floor with their arms limp during wall walks.
Yes.
Made me feel good.
Last year during the Open, we did it together. I did that workout a couple times, but the first time we did it, I had no clue what I was doing with volume wall walks. I did about 3 rounds, and then I just laid there and watched you finish it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even, the last 5 minutes, I didn't even move. I was so tired, and I had no clue what I was doing. It was just frustrating. I just wanted to be done with that clock so I could figure out how to do a wall walk and start over. That I just laid there and watched you do it. I could do all the other handstand stuff.
Yeah.
Wall walk was something that I skipped it in my progression of CrossFit. When I started CrossFit, my first workout was handstand push-ups, and I did handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
In my first CrossFit workout.
It was just so comforting. It gave everybody just that little glimmer of hope. It's like, you know what?
They're human.
They are human. Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. I look the exact same way.
Yeah. And then we saw a 21-year-old snatch 305 pounds.
Then you saw a 20,
just smashed it.
That feeling didn't last long.
Yeah.
Because then they had to get up and do thrusters at 185 pounds or 135 pounds.
I think it was 185 for the guys, that's crazy. But watching Malheiros, is that how you say his last name? Malheiros?
Yeah.
Snatch 305 beautifully, I might add.
In regular shoes.
Well, yeah, you gotta get that Reebok money.
Yeah. Well,
that bonus money.
Snacks and lifters off of somebody,
But that would cut into his profit for winning the snatch. No, I think if you follow him on Instagram, he does almost all of his lifters. I don't know if he wears lifters. I think he does most of his lifting in flat bottom CrossFit shoes.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I was a little disappointed in the women's snatch.
Yeah. So I
don't really know what I should have expected, but I was a little disappointed. I thought they'd go higher.
So it seems like this is coming from somebody that can barely snatch what they snatch, but more men have progressed towards that 300-pound threshold or over it
in the snatch
than women have
the 220
to the 200. It's not the 200.
That's true.
205, I don't know.
But if I'm not wrong, didn't we see 5 or 6 200-pound snatches in the semifinal for the women?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we saw a bunch.
We saw a lot of 300-pound snatches in the semifinal too.
At the MAC, there was a 215 on the women's side, wasn't there?
So, there are girls that can snatch 220.
Yeah.
I've seen somebody power. I don't remember her name, but that's one complaint I had about the games.
What's that?
We saw snatches the entire
it was like a whole season of snatching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not give us something else? I'm a firm believer.
Yeah, because you can go all the way back to the Open. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
We dumbbell snatched in the Open.
Dumbbell snatch.
We barbell snatched in the quarterfinal.
Yep. Max snatch
in the semifinal.
And then
max snatch in the games. You're right. They did it every single
point.
That's true.
Why not? I wanted to see a 1 rep max overhead squat like they did in 2014, 15. one of the two. Because one, it'd be really cool to see those weights that nobody else is going to touch.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody can put 400 pounds over their head.
Somebody can.
Squat it and stand it back up. But you get two things where you get to kind of like hold your breath to see.
When they rack it up?
Yeah, whenever you get it up, and if they can control it, and then if they can get down to the bottom and stand it up.
Yeah, that's true.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the reason behind that. I mean, we saw the injury in the snatch with Brooke.
Still haven't watched it. Don't plan on watching it.
It wasn't that bad to watch live. I wouldn't go back and like search for it, but I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with that. They just don't want that. I would say that, but they do all kinds of crazy stuff at the CrossFit Games. So I don't know. Yeah, I didn't mind the snatch so much. It's exciting. I hate when they do cleans. I hate when cleans is the max. Because I know a bunch of gorillas at the local level who can clean in the upper threes. Mm-hmm. Those same gorillas can't snatch 220.
Yeah.
Like, if you're big and strong and you have a football background or any kind of athletic background, you can probably clean and power clean pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, you can figure it out. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of technique and a lot of work to snatch.
I agree.
And so I'm 100% happy with seeing that. I get the excitement of seeing 400 possibly get on a bar whenever you're talking the clean.
Yeah.
But I like the way they did the cleans at the games with the run. Mm-hmm. Instead of just a straight sprint ladder. I thought that was kind of cool.
Just throw a little something extra in there.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good test. As far as the women's field goes, Tia is the best female CrossFitter of all time. Can we say that?
In terms of records and event wins, she's the most dominant CrossFit athlete of all time.
Can we put an asterisk next to this one? With no Carrie Pierce, no Bethany Shadburn?
I don't know.
Talking about probably her two biggest competitors for this games, both of them gone. And no one pushed her all weekend after that.
To be fair, the one girl that trains with those other two, what was her name? Danielle Brennan?
Yeah.
She finished 11th. Now, I understand.
I think she's probably the third best
she's not
out of those three,
par,
yeah.
But are the other two 10 spots better than she is?
Carrie Pierce was on the podium last year.
She was.
She was third last year.
I don't know.
And she's the only female to win. Isn't she the only? No, Tia's won a swim workout against the guys too, but she won in the Coliseum against the guys too a couple years ago with was it Cindy? Mary.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know if it's an asterisk necessarily as much as it is like it is fun to question. I think Tia still wins, even if they're there. But does she lose some events? Does it get a little tighter?
Yeah.
Did they push her a little bit more? Because she really wasn't. I felt like whenever she didn't win an event, it was because she decided, not a great event for me.
Yeah, not worth just.
I'm just going to be in it. We're going to do well. I don't feel like she was killing herself, like the wall walk thruster workout.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But.
Well.
What about all the drug issues we've seen this year?
Yes. Who didn't get popped?
There's a ton.
I think there are 5 teams.
Ton.
1 individual woman. And I don't know if there's an individual male. But that's so many for one year.
It's a lot.
5 teams.
I don't know, because we're not at that level, clearly, of CrossFit. But is it there's more testing than there has been in the past, do you think? Do you think it's just people are trying to catch up? That they're so far behind in the sport that they're trying to get better? Because we're at a weird crossroads, I think. We've talked about this a year ago on the podcast.
Yeah.
That we're moving towards this kind of professionalism in the sport, which was an argument we had around the gym for a week on its own.
This is true.
But there's people who've done this for their sport now for multiple years, and they're proficient at CrossFit. And there's people coming into the sport on the team side especially, it seems like, that are a little older, a little less...
They're just freak athletes.
Yeah, they're good athletes. They're figuring this CrossFit thing out. I mean, we even saw teams at some of the foreign events couldn't do muscle-ups, There was a girl at the games who couldn't swim. Like, there's different things. So do you think it's that, or do you think there's just more testing and we're starting to see more people get hit?
I think it's a mixture of everything. I think those 2 things you mentioned, people trying to catch up, doing anything it takes to get to that point. Because, like, especially with Reebok coming out and saying, hey, we'll pay you $10,000.
That's true. That's a lot of money.
If you announce that, I might be worth a shot. Pun intended. But I think you see that. I think you see more testing. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say there may or may not have been at least one person who got one of those false positive tests.
Nah. I think I'm on the side of the test. If you get popped, you screwed up somewhere.
Probably. Okay, maybe not a false positive. Maybe an unintentional positive.
Yeah, okay. Like you took a tainted supplement or something.
A wrong supplement, or I don't know, you had the right supplement but it was a bad batch.
I did hear on a podcast or somebody talking about, so when you get popped, there's this attorney, I don't know where he is, he has a list of reasons why you got popped. And so you pay him, you pick one of these reasons, you give that reason, and then he tries to defend it. Like, the same attorney has defended all of the athletes.
Really?
That have gotten popped in the past, and that's like the way they do it, to appeal.
Huh.
I don't know enough about all that. I'm not in that world.
Yeah.
Of, the need to dope. I hang out in the gym with my friends. So
I do fitness so I can have fun outside.
Yeah, and do fun things with my life.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's something I've heard in the past. Like, it's like one attorney or one law firm that does this, and that's why you'll see the same excuses for all the athletes.
I had bad meat.
Yeah, like I got a steak in Iceland and it had test in it. Like, that doesn't make any sense, but that's like what they talk about is a thing. I don't remember who was that. It may have been.
That was one of the Mayhem girls, Ellie Cabord.
I know. I'm talking about the people who were telling about that excuse, like nil. It may have been on the Frazier, Josh Madden Savant.
That was, I listened to something about that. That was a common excuse in like the 70s and 80s, whenever there was an outbreak of something, in European countries. But it hasn't been that way since like the late 80s, early 90s.
That's
but people are still trying to use that as.
So let's transition this then.
Okay.
Talking about steroids and people getting popped to the Olympics. And one of the most
where everybody
dirty sports on earth, weightlifting, had one of the best shows I think weightlifting could have put on at the Olympics.
I'd argue that helped save weightlifting in a sense.
Hopefully so, because they were on the chopping block due to the IWF.
Due to steroids.
And their irresponsibility to stop it.
Yeah.
Their allowance of steroids to continue in the sport. A couple things we saw in weightlifting. We saw China destroy the world.
We all knew that was going to happen.
In the sub-massive categories on the men's side. And the women's side, the massive category smashed the world again. We saw probably the second or third best super heavy in the world get popped.
Yeah, before he left.
Speaking of steroids. Now, the story for him is he actually has gone back, and it's a negative now. But it was too close to the Olympics for them to dispute it.
No way.
What happened was this is the doctors and him and his story. So he has a gland issue.
Oh, I think I remember seeing something about that.
That caused his hormone level to increase at a different rate than like normal humans does. And the doctors have proven this, but the dispute was too late. They couldn't get into the Olympics. So
God.
It was irrelevant completely.
Yeah.
Because Lasha is so much stronger than the world in the super heavy side.
He would have lost about 50 kilos.
Yeah, likely. But maybe someone else would have been lifting heavy weights with Lasha. No, they're all freaking heavy, but lifting those heavier weights with Lasha than him by himself. Like, Lasha cleaned, or the first lifter in the first clean was Lasha's last snatch.
That's crazy.
Like, within a couple of kilos.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that just shows you how wide, and that's all in the A group. So we're not talking about a guy who can't get on the platform. Mm-hmm. We're talking about one of, the 10 best lifters in the world?
Yeah.
That made it to the Olympics. I know there's a lot of, political stuff around it, but... So yeah, we saw the Olympics. We saw Lasha hit 3 world records.
Yep. And he kept it low enough to where he'll be back.
Yep, heaviest total in history. Did not go anywhere near the 500 mark everybody was kind of hoping he'd go for. I don't know if he had it in this Olympics. 500 kilos, if you don't know the whole story, there's the mythical number that no one can reach, 500 kilos in the total. It means he would at least snatch and clean and jerk 250.
225, 275.
Yeah, more likely. Actually, it's probably more likely it'll be like 230, 270, 270, whatever. Didn't even get close. Like 485 or something like that, 486. I don't know this complete number. Completely decimated the field with that. Wasn't even close.
So 6 years ago, the mythical number was 480. Now we're already talking about 500.
Yeah, 480 is not a mythical number for him. I mean,
he hit it, and now everyone's like, well, we want more.
He had so much space left in his snatch. Like, the clean, I think his clean's almost topped out. I don't know if he's got a whole, I mean, now he's got more years of training. Losh is only 29
probably,
or 30, and super heavies can lift longer. They do lift longer than most weight classes, so maybe in the future he can do it. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. I thought he would ride off into the sunset.
So, I mean, if you put it in perspective for us non-metric folk, think about how many years of cleaning 600 pounds. 600 pounds just right on your shoulders.
The toll that takes.
Yeah, and then...
no matter how heavy you are.
Like having your arms just right outside your shoulders and then putting it over your head and holding it.
So he does weigh like 400 pounds.
Yeah, but still.
I know. It's still crazy.
That's 1.5 times body weight.
So for non-metric people, he cleaned 500-ish pounds he snatched 500-ish pounds and clean and jerked 600-ish pounds. Yeah. It's an absurd amount of weight.
Yeah.
Just try to pick that up off the ground. My deadlift is well under his snatch.
If you load it up on a bar in a typical CrossFit gym, the bar will bend.
Yeah, most gyms don't have the equipment that can handle that.
No.
Truly handle it. Now, bars say they can hold 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, nah.
Good luck getting it off the ground. It'll elephant and hang out. But yeah, crazy what he's doing.
It's unreal.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for years. This isn't new. It's just...
he's just slowly working his way up.
Yeah. Breaking records, getting bonuses.
I wonder if the Georgian government was like, hey, we want to stay relevant for a little while longer, so you just like throttle back.
Hey, bump it. Don't go for it. Just hit it.
We want to be on the record books for a lot longer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was crazy to watch, though.
It was a lot of fun. Also, wild fact, the Olympics start again in 5 months.
The winter? Mm-hmm. Is it time for Winter Olympics already?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
So it's just pop.
Wow. And then we'll be right back in Paris.
Yeah, in 2024. We'll actually have a year off. So that's nice.
And then we'll be right back into it.
Yep.
I would say, on a general fandom perspective, I was way less interested in the Olympics this year than I have been in past times.
I was really into it when it first started, and then once the CrossFit Games hit, after that was over, I was like,
Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't...
I didn't watch track like I normally do.
I watched like the women's 800.
I didn't watch a single track event.
That was like the one... I watched that, and I watched like a replay of like the 1500.
I thought I was going to watch discus, because I have a buddy that almost qualified. He was like 5 feet away from qualifying for the Olympics. So I was like, I wonder what like the guy that actually qualified did. And I never watched it.
Do you think he'll try again to go to Paris?
It's possible. I mean, he's 2 years older than I am.
Yeah,
he's 26.
He's got time.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't actually know the lifespan of a discus player. I would assume it's...
The guy that won looks like an NFL offensive lineman.
Yeah, they're huge. They're large humans.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they're large humans. And they almost all are good at snatch, clean, and jerk.
Yeah.
They perform the Olympic lifts regularly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Super cool. Well, we're back. We are. Be on the lookout. We're going to put more content up. New YouTube channel, Align Online. So check that out. Hit a subscribe. Podcast will be on there, as well as we're going to do some like tips and tricks and stuff that we're going to be putting up at Align_MVMNT on Instagram.
That's it.
Check out the cool videos that Morg shot it. Morg.shot shot it. Is that right?
I don't know. We'll plug it.
Check out Instagram. They're tagged on there.
Link in the description below.
Yeah.
I always want to say that.
Check those out. They're really sweet. He's been doing an awesome job around the gym with some cool videos. As well as you can check out what we've just got going on here. If you're in the Central Arkansas area, we'd love to have you stop by for one of our Saturday community WODs. If not that, come on in during the week and we'll give you 1 week free trial to check us out. So hope you have a great week. We'll be back next weekend. Till always, our goal and our mission is to develop strong humans, create strong families, and build strong communities. Until next time, peace.
See you.